One.
Go ahead. Make sure we're on. Hello, Las Vegas. Wow.
Give me that.
Wow.
Give me that paper over there. That picture of. Yeah.
Wow. That's all I can say, Las Vegas. You're hired, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, Las Vegas. Welcome to Face the Tribune with Rolando Larraz. I'm Chris Garcia, your co-host. Wow. Unbelievable. God is good. Rolando has been trying to tell you for a year now that Trump was going to win. Have faith in the American people. And I'm a huge Trump supporter, not as big as my wife. My wife, Sian, the producer here, has been telling me from the beginning that Donald Trump was going to win for me to have faith. I did not. I fell victim to everybody else. I believed in what the media was saying. I didn't believe he was going to win until, and I'll be honest, 5 o'clock yesterday evening, me and my wife were laying in bed and watching the returns. I'm from back east. I lived in a lot of those counties. I lived in New York City. I grew up in Chicago, and I lived in South Florida as well. I know those counties very well. And when I started looking at the returns in the counties, I started doing a little math. I have a background in economics, and I used to have to crunch a lot of numbers. And I looked at my wife at 5 o'clock and I said, if you put a gun to my head, the numbers that I'm looking at, the numbers that she needs to come back and win in Florida, North Carolina, Michigan, I said, he's the next president. And my wife gave me the biggest smile. She said, are you serious? I said, if you called me in right now to the office and said, what do these numbers mean, Chris? I know those counties. She was not carrying the counties that she needed to carry the way Obama did. And the counties that he was carrying, that Romney carried, he outperformed Mitt Romney in 2012 and McCain. So he was flipping counties that he needed to flip. And the Reagan Democrats, they call them independents. When you're in the Midwest, we call them Reagan Democrats, the people that don't make their mind up. And they're usually the change vote. And they don't make their mind up until that day or the day they go into the voting booth. They came out and voted for Trump. It didn't show up in the polls. I think it was 10 or 15% of the population that did not make their mind up.
That camera working?
Until they went into the poll. And I think those Reagan Democrats came out in Michigan and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania and Ohio, and they voted for Donald Trump. And what's so funny, those are the same people that voted for Barack Obama. That's a big untold story people aren't talking about today. He won the same counties Barack Obama won in the last two elections. So that means the people that trusted Obama and trusted his change message went for Trump, and they're trusting his change message. Rolando, this is a great day for America.
Because they were disappointed.
Yes.
So they was trying to prove something to Obama.
Yes.
And that's what it was. I tell you, yesterday, I'm going to tell you a little secret. Yesterday, when I left here, I drove to a church and I prayed to the Lord. Then if Donald Trump was going to change this country, to let him win, to bless him and to keep him by his side during the counting of the votes, because I didn't believe they was going to let him win. I didn't believe that the Democrats was going to let him win.
Yeah.
The same way they did it over here in Nevada.
Yes.
They lost. They were so stupid, these Republicans.
Yes.
So stupid. They let the Assembly go. They let the Senate go. They let everything go. They had the control.
Yes.
And they didn't kept it, because they are too arrogant.
Yes.
I wrote it in my article over here.
They didn't support Trump. It came back to haunt him, didn't it?
Yeah.
It came back to haunt him.
Yeah. Okay. I wrote about that I think it's in this one here. Local something. I don't have my glasses on. Danny Tarkanian. He think I got him here in this radio show once. I invited to come over and again, and he never responded. I talked to his wife Amy, and she said when we got back, that was when the convention was going on in Ohio. Okay? Joe Heck, I kept my mouth shut all this time because Clark Philly and even John Estrada was telling me we cannot divide the Democrat Party, we cannot, the Republican Party, we cannot, but I was dying to tell people how arrogant and how selfish all these people, they do you a favor by talking to you. Remember I told John one day, Joe Heck, even people from Washington, from his office in Washington, call and say, when I get back to Las Vegas, I get in touch with you and we're going to bring Joe Heck into your show. They never did. They never called nothing. They lost.
Yes.
Victoria Seaman, that was my birthday present. She lost. She lost. Why? Because she was too greedy and she was listening to that granny that she got for campaign manager, she didn't need to run for the state senate. She need to stay in the assembly where she was elected for that. But 5 months after she was elected, oh, this is not for me. I want something better. I want something bigger. I want to advance right away. 5 months after she was elected she hasn't even finished half of the first term. And she ran for Senate, lost. Okay? Michelle Fiore was time out. She was term out. She was okay. Michelle Fiore did the right thing. She ran for Congress. She lost. I keep telling her not to run for Congress. She is not capable to become a congresswoman yet. But she thinks that because she wears those tight shirts and, she's another grandmother. People in Washington are looking for those 20, 24, 25, look at them. How old was Monica Lewinsky when she got the affair with...
in her 20s.
Okay, so... people think that because I talk with an accent, I was going to support the Attorney General, Catherine Cortez Masto, but because I believe that the Republican Party should be kept intact, and Clark Philly keep telling me the same thing when he was here. You cannot divide the party. You cannot divide the party. You have to support the party. Then John Estrada came and did the same thing. These people don't know the mentality and the idiosyncrasy of the Republicans in this town.
Wow.
Look at that Charlie Munoz. He has the campaign of the president. He was the state director for Nevada and Arizona for Donald Trump. Did you ever see him in any place? Did you ever see him in any show?
No.
Did you ever? Nothing. They think that because they got an R at the end of the show, they are God gift to the world. And it's not true, my friend. Wow. Look at that. We got another 4 years of Harry Reid. We got another 4 years of Harry Reid.
Yeah.
Because Harry Reid is going to be puppeting that Mexican kid and the Attorney General, Catherine Cortez Masto, and of course Dina Titus. And they don't listen. They don't listen. You have to go out. I think what we need to do is to create the Trump party.
Yes.
And forget about the stupid Republican Party. Stupid, because that's all what they are. They are not constantly, let me tell you, Shirley Berkeley, she started as a cocktail waitress at the Sands Hotel. She became Congresswoman. Mm-hmm. And that woman, the election was today, she win, and tomorrow morning she get up and she campaigning again. She was always there. Very good, very efficient public elected official. Mm-hmm. She was always trying to do something for somebody, and she lost, but I don't know why she lost. I told Michelle Fiore, you cannot run against her. She is what do you call, well, what I'm trying to tell is she was campaigning all the time. Yes. She was all the time. Yes. And now she probably didn't run because she got a job that paid more than a congresswoman, and but anyway, I got out of the thing. I went to church yesterday and I prayed to the Lord, if this guy is going to be good for our country, please let him win. And I tell you, I sat in front of that TV last night, and there was one after the other one, after the other one, after the other one. And I was, at one time, I think she was kind of getting more points than him, and I thought, they're gonna start the shitting now. Yeah. But they could not. No. They could not do it.
No, the numbers didn't add up, and like I said, I looked at my wife at about 5 o'clock, and she doesn't watch much politics. She gives her opinion, and that's about it. And I said, he's going to win. And this is when she was winning some states and actually had took over the electoral vote. And I said, she's winning, but she's not winning by the numbers that she needs to win. And the counties that were outstanding were Republican counties. In Michigan.
Look who is here. Hey. Look who is here. Mr. Ed Yulin. Mr. Ed Yulin, sit down.
Hey, special guest. Special guest today.
Yeah,
on Face the Tribune.
That's a surprise.
This is the hottest show in Las Vegas in the country. We have stars that come in all the time. And we are so happy here to have our friend. You want to say
this is the other guy. This is the only guy that always put the money where his mouth is, and then back up. Back up. Go ahead.
What an idiot, no?
No, not an idiot, no. It's because you enjoy better helping other people. He wasn't, I got the feeling, and I tell you, I'm willing to bet anything that he was helping the woman that was running against him.
How did you know?
Because I know you. Because I know you. You pay $150, might as well don't pay nothing, get paid to be a campaign manager.
I'll talk to her next time.
So, how do you like the result of the elections? I know he's not going to like it, but I just want to ask him.
Fabulous. The revolution has started.
Yeah. And all your friends in the legislation, they all lost.
That's right.
All
they
lost.
Deserve to lose because
they deserve to lose.
How many taxes did they bring to us? The $1.5 billion increase in taxes, the stadium tax, which was what was 750 million plus all the interest.
And now they're making a fool because the stadium is not going to happen.
And then then 900 million for the roads around the stadium, and then
That's right.
1.4 billion
It's right
for
here.
the convention center. It seems like there's another increase. They gave away $1 billion to Tesla. They gave 300 million to, or 400 million to Faraday.
I should apply for that, some of that money. Hey, I wanted to start a business. Why don't you give me some money, Mr. Democrat Rhino Governor? You know, I was listening to Chuck Moose. I tell you, Chuck doesn't like me, and I really don't care for him that much. But he writes in the Tribune, and he was in the radio today. And I tell you, that's why I like him. That's why I respect him. He tell you the way it is, like it or not. He was talking to Ken Wall, and Ken said something about the
Kevin Wall.
Kevin
Okay.
Wall. Okay, he was talking about the Republicans and he said how the governor is going to work now with all those Democrats.
That's right. The governor here is the big loser.
But Chuck Moose told him the truth. I said he is a Democrat. He pretends to be. I've been saying that. How long he's been in office now? 7 years?
I don't know. Something like that.
Yeah, 6, 7 years. I've been saying that. He belonged to Harry Reid. He is Harry Reid's puppet. Every job that he had is being offered to him in a silver platter by Harry Reid.
Yeah.
From the Attorney General to, first the Assembly, then Attorney General, then
The judge.
the judgeship, then it was forever federal judge. They put him over there.
Yeah, but he didn't like it.
He didn't like it. Harry Reid ordered him to step down so he can run for governor
You think so?
against his son, against his own son. Remember, Rory didn't talk to Harry Reid for a long time. They didn't
Really?
talk. Yeah, because he told Rory, go ahead, run for governor. I'm not going to run anymore. Well, he don't realize that as powerful as he is, Harry Reid has people telling him what to do, like those Republicans for Harry Reid, the Bob Cachell and Tony Alamo, all
Rogic,
those, Sig Rogic, you know, and
Parnell.
yeah, all those Republicans
Yeah.
for Harry Reid. And after he told Rory that he was not running, for him to run for, you know, them, they didn't let him quit, and Rory was pissed because he knew he wasn't going to be able to win against his father's power, you know, and that was the whole thing, you know. And Harry Reid is not. I just wrote it in the article. Harry Reid got another term in politics. He got Cortez Masto. That, you know, I like her. You know, I like her. The only reason I was telling Chris, the only reason then I didn't come out openly, first of all, because she never confirmed to me then she had problem with Harry Reid. So when I asked, remember that day we went to that event? We were sitting in the table, and then I get up and went to see her.
Oh, you mean that when Harry Reid was going to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I asked her, I said, I hear that you and Harry are not getting along too.
You said that to her?
Yeah. And she went like, you know,
Oh, really?
yeah. And then I asked her that little, I don't know, she was Mexican or Philippine assistant that she got, brand new Philippine. And I said, together or what? Tell me the story. No comment.
No comment.
No comment. And you know, when you see somebody tell you no comment and laughing, you know that there's plenty to comment, but they can't talk.
Yeah.
You know, so, but anyway, I would have loved to support her because Joe Heck, I don't like the people that he got around him. He got a bunch of inept people in his campaign, and also the guy that came from Washington, he called me one day over the phone, and he said, I hear that you having problem with the Nevada office and this, and so he said, I'm in Washington. When I get back to Nevada, I give you a call. That was it. I never hear from him anymore. And I know that Mark is not with Joe Heck anymore, so your friend Mark.
My friend Mark. Mark is going to be very distressed if you say that.
Why?
He doesn't like me very much.
He doesn't like me either, you know. And Crescent Harry never came to the radio show. Joe Heck never came to the radio show. And the people that I don't invite want to come to the radio show, and the people that I invite don't want to come to the radio show. You know, and now we got an immigrant in the Congress of the United States.
Yeah, but he opposed the stadium.
Who, Ruben?
Yes.
Really?
He was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, but you cannot be in both sides. You cannot have the river over here, one leg over here, and one leg over here.
No?
No, you can't, because you can't. If you don't think that the stadium is the right thing to do, then you have to lobby, you have to campaign for people to know they're going to do any good. I understand that. You know, no matter how many, you know that for a fact, eh? You go over there, they give you 3 minutes, and that's it. You can talk for 3 minutes.
Right.
3 minutes.
I talked for 3 minutes.
I know. Yeah. What can you say in 3 minutes?
That's right.
Nothing. But
they had 18 and a half hours of propaganda in favor of the stadium.
Right.
And 0 seconds against it.
And then
so
you got a guy like Jamie Aguero show up there with a pile of paper about this thing. He don't even know what is there. He put him in there like he's a big shot, you know, with all that pile.
He knows what's in there.
Yeah, well, but he don't even open it. He don't even open it.
Yeah, well,
you know, sitting next to the sheriff, pretending to be a big shot. You know, and all he is a spokesperson for the hotel and the casinos.
No, he's a spokesperson for whoever hires him.
Oh, well, at least
he was hired by the taxi cab company to come up with stuff against.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong about that.
There sure is.
Why?
He's an economist.
What do you think?
Give honest opinions.
What do you think the campaign managers are?
Well, he's not a campaign manager. He's an economist who's hired to do studies, and he always, the results of his study always are what the person who's paying the money wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Like for example,
so it's totally unreliable.
Like for example, in the Binion case, they bring this famous lawyer, I forgot his name now, Horswish or whatever, you know. He got paid by the defense attorney.
That's the attorney's job. Okay, an economist.
Expert witness.
Okay, fine. But Jeremy is not an expert witness.
No?
He's handling the whole project and adjusting all the statistics to what the clients want.
Right.
He's totally disreputable.
But Ed, this is what I'm trying to explain to you. Okay. What do you think an expert witness is? If I pay,
he's not an expert witness.
Wait a minute. If I pay,
he's a professional.
Let's use somebody that we know. Okay, let's assume that I'm a defense attorney. I got a trial. I call Oscar Goodman as an expert witness. I'm paying Oscar Goodman. Who do you think he's gonna give the opinion in favor of?
Well, do you want me to say for the third time?
Yeah?
Jeremy Aguero is not an expert witness.
No, he's not
He's
an
a
expert
professional economist.
economist. He's a sold-out economist.
That's right.
Okay.
That's not an expert witness.
No? Okay.
Okay.
I call him an expert witness. I can call him anything I want.
Okay.
Because now we are in a free country. Now we living in a free country. Now I'm gonna see where all those people living in the charro, in the charro.
Charles.
Shadow.
Shadow.
Oh, shadow.
I'm Cuban too, I understand.
Okay. All these people living in the shadow, right?
My mother's accent was thicker than his, so I understand.
Okay. And now, what? You see, you interrupted.
See, we interrupted.
You interrupt me. I forgot what I was saying.
Well, I wanted to understand what you were saying.
All
I
these
can't understand Charles.
people that living in the shadow, SHADOW, right?
Yes.
Okay, they're gonna go away now because they're not gonna be in TV anymore campaigning for Dina Titus or campaigning for Ruben Kewen or campaigning for Hillary
Who are we
Clinton.
talking about? Who's living in shadows?
These Mexicans that are here working in the hotels, driving a $300,000 cars, and those are the people like that. And that lady Silva, Silva, some lady that is supposed to be illegal. She's supposed to be illegal, but he's campaigning for Hillary Clinton.
Silva.
And TV,
Oh, you're
Silva.
talking about Silva.
Silva, that's what I said.
You said
You have
Silva.
a problem with my English
Yes,
today?
I do.
Well, the next time I have to
That's
make
Spanish, though.
the next time I have to the next time I have to make a payment to what I owe you, I'm going to start talking to you in Spanish so you don't understand and I walk away.
Oh, okay.
We face the Tribune, Rolando Larraz. What a great day in America
You know,
today.
she's sitting in the White House with the president.
Yeah.
She's sitting in the hotel with the supposedly future president, and she's talking about she's living in the dark. And let me put it that way, in the dark. She's not. People don't. She cannot come to the light because she's going to be deported. Do you know what deported is?
Yeah.
Did I pronounce it right? Huh?
Yeah.
Deportation, It's like when you go to the Philippines, they're going to deport you back to the United States.
They are. Her name is Astrid Silva.
Silva.
You pronounced it like him. Yeah, I know. He has me doing it now.
What?
Pronouncing it wrong.
Yeah.
I called her Astrid Silver.
And she's the only dreamer. There was no more dreamers. Yeah. She's the only dreamer that is in every commercial. Ruben Kewen, Hillary Clinton,
okay.
What's her name, my friend? Catherine Cortez Masto, she's the only dreamer. Where's all the dreamers?
Okay. Okay, so what's the point? What are we talking about?
I'm talking about that now they all going to have to hide for real. They all going to have to hide.
So they're going to send out some kind of secret police to hunt them down?
No, no secret. No secret at all. They're just going to put the truck in there, put a boss in there and say, get in.
Sort of like Germany 1945.
Yes,
kind of.
Yes. It doesn't make any difference what language you speak. You still.
No.
They're gonna start. They're gonna start screaming, "Immigration, immigration!" again. Remember? Back in the day?
Yeah.
Migrant, yeah.
Migra, yeah. Okay. So now,
La migra.
tell me
Trump trucks.
Tell
Say that
me
10 times.
Drunk what?
Trump trucks are going to go around.
Oh, Trump.
Trump trucks. Tell me.
So you think that's funny?
Tell me your opinion now about the election, the result. Tell me, did you hear her talking today?
Yeah.
What do you think about the speech?
Well, it wasn't bad. The speech of our vice president was terrible. He never mentioned Trump. He never mentioned the win of the Republicans. Yeah. What is this guy up to?
Who?
Tim Kaine.
Oh, Tim Kaine.
Yeah. Sore loser.
They talked about how fabulous. Hillary
well,
is.
that was a concession speech.
Yeah.
That was a concession speech. Yeah.
Okay, but don't you think he should encourage people to come together and to unite and to support and to look for the best way of working out things?
Yeah, my dad always warned me about people that wag their fingers at you and stand on the soapbox. Well, they're usually the biggest hypocrites.
I tell you, that was the same
they're
thing.
The biggest hypocrites.
That's the same thing she was doing when she was running. She was screaming and yelling and
waving her finger. And if Donald Trump doesn't accept the election, and he should be conciliatory when he loses and come out to America and his angry white men, the only vote that he has, I voted for him, and he got 20% of the black vote and 30% of the Hispanic vote. He did better than any president since Ronald Reagan in the Latino and black community. So people were voting for him. They didn't want to say it. I know a lot of my friends that are Cuban and African American did not want to come out and say that they were voting for him, but I know for a fact they voted for him. People didn't want to say it because it wasn't politically correct.
People was afraid of the consequences.
That's absolutely right. Yeah. When they went in that voting booth, they voted for him. He carried the same counties that Barack Obama carried 4 years ago and 8 years ago. So those were black counties, Latino counties, Reagan Democrats. And when they went into that voting booth, they voted for Donald Trump. She only won 70% of the African-American vote. She did not dominate the African-American vote. They did come out. The numbers weren't down, but more voted for Donald Trump than people thought was going to happen. And they voted for him because they're tired of not having opportunities. They're tired of what's going on in their inner cities. They're tired of the violence. And I'm not saying whether he can do it or not, but at least he spoke about it. At least he spoke about it. And people kept saying, why is he standing up there trying to court the African-American vote? Why shouldn't he? He's going to be the president of all of the citizens in America.
What is the idea
he just told the truth.
What's the idea of campaigning?
Wow. Yeah.
When you campaign, you have to... You don't look at the clock now, okay? Just take your glasses off.
Our friend here, his head is about to explode. He can't believe what he wants.
He started looking at the clock.
He started looking at the clock.
He's taking me to lunch, and now he's
he's ready to go.
Yeah.
We got a little ways to go. We're on Face the Tribune where Rolando Larraz and our good friend Ed Julian has stopped in. We love to see him when he comes in.
He used to be my co-host.
He's a good dude. Yeah, he's a good guy. We joshing with him. But if you want to join the conversation, 702-983-0711, call in. We would love it. It's a great day in America, isn't it? I woke up smiling this morning. I was so happy. My wife was so happy. And I believe he's going to, I need one of those hats. Make America Great Again hats. Where do you get those from?
And somebody stole my sign there last night.
Oh, wow. Collector's items now.
Probably.
People want them now.
Yeah. Collector's sign is the one I had. The one I had, it didn't have pens. It only have Trump.
Just Trump. Oh, that's rare.
Those are the rare ones.
Yeah.
But somebody stole it.
Oh, my God.
Your friend, Victoria.
She did?
Victoria Jampa.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Some guy came over.
Not Victoria Seaman.
No.
Yeah.
Victoria Seaman don't come to this place. She's too big. She's too important. Her campaign manager don't let her come over here.
Yeah.
Like the water peddler. What is the name of the guy that sell the water? He lost too.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Brett Jones.
Brett Jones.
If Rolando invites you on this show, you should come on. That's a bad omen. You see what happened when you did not, when he invites you and you don't come. You see what happens. You lose badly. show up and come on this show. This show is listened to more than you think, and Rolando can get you on, and people will listen to this radio show, and you can express your opinion.
No, but
when you
according
don't-
to the campaign manager, that granny, that little old lady, she don't think anybody listen to.
Oh,
Nobody
that's not
read
true.
the TV.
Granny.
Not true.
Granny, what's her name? Your friend, the granny, the grandmother.
Grandmother of who?
I don't know how many.
Who?
Some
What
old
campaign?
lady, eh?
What campaign are you talking about?
She was running the campaign for Lisa, and she controlled that Brett Jones and what's her name? Lisa Mayo.
Oh, you're talking about Lisa.
Lisa,
Yeah.
yeah. She is a grandmother. I'm not insulting her.
Okay.
She go to Alaska to spend time with her grandkids while she's.
So what do you think about the election?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
I love it.
Did you like the Democrats taking over everything in Nevada?
We was talking about that before you came in. It's nobody's fault, but the Republicans. The Republicans think they're too arrogant. They think they are God gift to the world. Okay, they walk around like nobody's better than them. They don't campaign. Look at the guy that was running the campaign for Donald Trump. The guy had the only show that he ever go to, and Clark used to talk to him all the time. Didi Lima used to talk to him all the time. So it's not me, I don't go to any of those places. I don't go to campaign openings or anything. That's not my style. But, the only place they go is to Kevin Wall, because, I don't know. Maybe he paid for people to go over there and talk. I don't know. Whatever the reason is, I don't believe that
Okay.
the Republicans. Look at Denny Tarkanian. He was here one time with Amy. I don't know. Maybe he got mad because I mentioned the fact that she's the one that should be running for Congress. She was a good candidate. Maybe he didn't like.
Maybe he got.
Eh?
Maybe she did get mad at you.
Maybe he did. Why would she get
That's
mad?
what I mean. Maybe
No,
that's why.
she really?
Maybe that's why Danny got mad at you.
Oh, probably. I don't know. He was here the whole show, 1 hour. Of course, he think his father's last name can get him elected. He think because he's the son of a city councilwoman, he can. Every time he runs, he lose. Because Republicans don't know how to reach out to people. They don't know how to campaign. Donald Trump is not a Republican. First of all, he used to be a Democrat. Second, he is an independent person. He speaks his heart out. He don't go through BS or anything like that. From day one, I'm going to build a wall, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And that's what people wanted to hear. That's why people wanted to hear. Only liberals like you like to keep all the illegal. This is the only country in the whole universe that doesn't have borders. We're going to have borders now.
Okay.
Mexico.
Is that bad?
What, having borders?
Have you ever
No.
read the Declaration of Independence?
No. What is it?
Declaration of Independence
Yeah, what does it say?
by Thomas Jefferson.
What does it say?
Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Okay.
This is a universal declaration
Oh.
of individual rights.
Uh-huh.
That every
To come in and out of here every time they
every
feel
human
like it.
being has the right
To come here.
to do whatever they want, as long
Use
as they're not hurting someone else.
please. Come on,
What?
stop being,
you read it?
stop being. Yeah, I read it, but
Okay, well,
we all.
don't you think
So
that
what?
it
What
doesn't
is?
refer just to people
So what is the
in United
idea?
States?
What is the idea to have an immigration force? What is the idea to
That's
have?
right.
What is the
You're
idea
right.
to have?
What's the idea of having all these armies that are attacking all these countries and blowing up all these bombs?
I'm not
and
talking
paying
about
off
that
the,
now. I'm talking
defense
about
contract.
protecting
What's
the
the
country.
idea?
I'm talking about protecting the country. I'm not
That doesn't
talking about
protect the country.
going somewhere else. I'm talking about people that want to come here, eat, go to
The
the
average immigrant makes more than the average American.
Of course they do.
If you look at Nobel Prizes of Americans,
Uh-huh.
they're all foreigners.
Yeah.
Okay, they contribute more than Americans.
That's-
go down. I went down Maryland Park.
No, you're right. You're right. Look,
From
2
Sahara
months.
Over to
2
over
months.
to Flamingo.
2 months.
15 people along that street that are homeless, totally, totally disoriented. All these people just walking around. These are the Americans.
Really?
Foreigners don't do that.
Oh,
They're not
I don't
foreigners.
see you doing that. Are you a foreigner?
I'm not saying every American does it, but the percentage is much greater.
Because
And
they
the
are more.
foreigners.
Because they are more people. They are more Americans than they.
I'm not talking about numbers. I'm talking about percentages. The percentage of Latinos that set up businesses is twice the number, or the percentage of Americans that set up businesses. Twice. The immigrants work harder. They're happy to be here. They want to work. They want to create something that they dreamed about.
Right.
They couldn't do in their home country.
Okay.
Americans, they want
They
to-
cannot do it in
They
their own
wanna-
country? Why not? Why not?
Because of the corruption or because of the...
Oh, we don't have corruption in here. That's true. You know, you're right. We don't have corruption
I
over here.
believe Americans are the hardest working people in the world, but I think that
You do?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you got to be kidding.
oh, absolutely. I think we're the hardest
You
working
could
people.
take any group of Chinese and who make 1/3 what Americans do and see what they produce.
Why did we
The
produce?
Chinese
Wait
will
a minute.
produce
Wait a
twice
minute. That's
what
not
the
true.
Americans
That's
do.
not true. We
Absolutely.
produced more steel, more cars, more everything for years and years and years. Those jobs were taken from this country, the plants, and put in other countries because of financial. It's cheaper to build stuff in other countries than it is here. It's
Well,
not.
that's
It's
right.
not because the American people don't work hard. The reason she lost this election is because people are out of work. White middle class Americans are out of work in West Virginia, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. Those are the states she was supposed to win. The reason she lost is because those people want to work. They want their jobs back. They don't want to sit around and
Yeah,
get welfare. They
their
want to
jobs
work.
back at $100 an hour.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Why
Why should we have to work for $8 an hour? Because that's what Mexicans come over here and work for. We're Americans. We don't want to work for $8 an hour. You can't live off of $8 an hour. You can't support your family, your kids, send them to college on $8 an hour. You can't.
That is a myth. That's a myth.
What's a myth?
What's a myth?
It's a myth.
What's a myth?
There are those jobs of $8 an hour are for the beginners, for the students. That's always it's been like that. It's always
But
been.
a lot of casinos
kids-
today, Rolando, there are casinos right now that you go in and apply and they want to pay you $8, $9, $10 an hour.
Well,
you
whose
cannot.
fault is it?
It's the fault because
The unions.
right, but
The unions
but
are the
immigrant-
ones that
immigrants-
allow those things to
Right,
happen.
absolutely, but I'm making your point. The immigrants drove the wages down because they will accept if you have somebody come in and they'll work for $8 an hour, and you have a union person that wants to work for $25 an hour.
Oh, no,
just
no, that's
financially,
not-
which person are you going to
That's
hire?
not true. Look at all those immigrants, including Cubans, that are picketing Trump's hotel
Yeah.
because they want more money.
Absolutely.
They want more money. Why don't
Absolutely.
they pick Addison or Wynn? Why don't they pick all those other hotels? Why don't they go picket
The-
Jan Jones hotels?
The biggest financial myth that has ever taken place, and they've beaten people to death for the last 50 years, is that a company cannot be prosperous if you have to pay them a living wage. That's ridiculous. Those people,
$100 an hour
those,
is not a living
but
wage.
most of those guys, I mean, they were making $30,
But
$35,
that's what
$40
they-
an hour.
That's what an employee
And-
from the Silver State make.
What?
The people that pick up the garbage, they make $80 an hour.
Okay.
So?
Yeah, that's right. So that's because the government forces that. Any government job, these people make on the government jobs. Yeah, they force the taxpayers to pay them these outrageous prices. That's a government contract, and so the county commission forces us to pay those people $80 an hour and millions, tens of millions of dollars in profits for that conglomerate.
Yeah.
Those are decisions by the state which are terrible.
So
we're
why
talking
don't
about
they?
automobile companies where there's competition. If there's competition, then the wages are held to a reasonable price.
But
when the state jumps in, they jump all over. They jump to outrageous
But the
prices.
automobile industry has a union, don't they?
That's in the union
So why
ruined
don't-
the industry.
why
The
don't-
union ruined
Of
that
course,
industry.
of course they do.
That is not. Let me tell you guys something.
Okay.
That is not true. And we've been made to believe that is the biggest pile of crap that these
Why do you
business
say
owners.
that?
Why do you
Because
say
it's
that?
not. It's just. Let me tell you something. If I'm so off base, then Donald Trump wouldn't have won. He won because people don't believe those lies. They don't. Because you work in the coal mine, or because you work in a factory, or because you work in a steel mill company, or you worked in the auto industry. Hillary Clinton said those jobs are gone. They're never coming back. Those jobs aren't gone. Those jobs are in other countries. They're not gone. You can bring them back.
And
You
Trump,
can bring them back.
and-
They didn't
There's no
disappear.
way- how are you-
Yes, you can.
Trump said that
That's
he's going to bring him.
ridiculous.
How are
That's what they've made us
Trump
believe.
said-
That's not
Okay, one thing at
true.
a time.
It's
Trump
not
said
true.
he's going to bring it
You
back.
can't bring those
How?
jobs back.
How?
Because what you do first of all is you give them tax incentives to come back. That's why so many companies are moving to Nevada, because of the tax incentives. We have taxed these companies out of our country. They're going to Mexico and India and other countries because it's cheaper to produce their product. Not because of the wages, because of the taxes. That's why.
An automobile here in the United States, if it's under union contract, it's like 30% of the cost of the automobile is labor and pensions. Okay?
There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, there sure is.
Why?
It can't compete in the world. It can't
It
compete,
can't compete in the
open
world.
market.
Listen.
You have to compete.
So why did
you have to compete.
So why did they
Don't
need
you live in an
bailouts?
open market?
Yes, but then why? If it's so competitive and they know how to keep the prices down, why did they have to get bailed out? Because it doesn't work. Ford, all of these companies had to get bailed out.
No, Ford did not have to be bailed out.
Most of the auto industry had to get bailed out if they're
The other
smart.
few companies did.
But
You're
if
right.
they're smart and they know what they're doing and they're building their cars overseas and they're supposed to save them money, why did they? Because it doesn't work. It's the biggest myth. It does not work. It's not because of living wages why those companies
And
are
you know
losing
what he's
money.
gonna do
It's
now?
because of bad products. It wasn't because they couldn't compete with the Asian cars because the Asian cars were better. The Toyotas at that time were better. The Nissans were better. The Mercedes were better. The Lexuses were better cars. We weren't competitive because the cars weren't better. Now we're making better cars. It wasn't because of the bailout. We're making better products now, more competitive products, and people are buying American. We used to dominate the car industry when we had the highest wages in the world, and we dominated. We dominated the car industry for 50 years. We started making crappy cars. That's what happened. The Europeans and the Asians started making better cars. How many Mercedes do you see? How many Toyotas do you see? Because they're better cars. That's why.
They took the customers for granted.
Yes.
That's
That's
all it was.
exactly what happened.
No.
It wasn't because of wages.
It was totally because of wages.
Oh.
Okay, let's take another industry that's where you can't say it's better. Okay, that's an invention of yours. Let's look at the steel industry.
Right.
Back in the 50s, I would go to these steel mills like they're there in Sparrows Point and in Baltimore, because I was going to school in Baltimore, and you could just drive into the plant and there's these huge things going on. It was incredible. Well, the Steelworkers Union kept pushing the wages, until no more steel industry. They closed the plants and they moved them abroad. Or foreign countries were able to build this, make steel, which you can't say it's better or worse. It's steel, steel. And now there's no company. I don't think there's a single steel company here in the United States, and it's all because of the Steel Workers Union. They destroyed
it's because of bad trade agreements. That's what Trump is talking about. Bad trade agreements.
Okay,
but let me tell you,
the whole purpose. A trade agreement is like an invention. It's like a new technology. When you trade, when you have 10 tons of apples and I have 10 tons of oranges, and we trade 5 tons of each, we're both richer by doing that.
They weren't fair trades.
It was fair. What's fair trade?
Okay,
why is it
we didn't get back?
Why is it fair trade?
That's what Trump was talking about. Because we're not getting back. It's not a fair trade when we're not getting back money and we're not getting back American jobs. But they're getting the jobs. We're not.
We get steel. The
people.
Everything. Okay, let me finish.
The people are.
We are. Okay? Almost everything that's produced is based on steel. Steel is used in an awful lot of products. So when we get steel from China for, let's say, $500 a ton, and the steel here, if it were produced here, would cost $1,000 a ton. The consumers here in the United States are saving $500 a ton. That's a huge
We're not benefiting,
advance.
and it doesn't matter.
We're benefiting hugely.
It doesn't matter if it costs $3 a ton if you can't afford it. It doesn't make any difference.
We can afford it.
We can't because the wages have gone down. We can't. The problem is in America.
Why do you think Walmart is doing so well?
Because it's cheap.
That's right.
Why? But how many?
Why is it cheap?
Why don't we have any?
Because they pay $8 an hour.
Why don't we have any growth in this country for the last?
Because they pay.
Why does the GDP less than 1% in this country? Why?
Yeah.
Why no growth?
Why?
Because of companies like Walmart and unfair trade agreements. They're putting people out of business. They have people working there 40 hours a week for $10 an hour. They can't afford to buy anything. By the time they pay their rent, they cannot afford to buy steel, cars, or anything. That's what's hurting America, is the wages, the living wages, the jobs that we've sold out, and the jobs that are coming.
And also
everybody's not educated. Everybody's not going to be able to work these high-tech jobs. That's not what this country was based on. This country was based on manufacturing, and it will always. If this country doesn't get back to making stuff, this economy will never boom again. Ever.
That's not true. That's not true.
It is
China.
That's China. That's not us. I'm an American. I don't care about China. I don't.
Oh, don't
I don't
say
care
that.
about
Don't
China.
say that in
I don't
front of
care
him.
about Mexico.
He loves Chinese.
I don't care about these other countries. I care about America. I don't care about.
Don't say that in front of him.
Oh, God.
He loves Chinese.
God.
Do you ever let a person finish a sentence? Okay.
He's Cuban. He don't let anybody finish.
Okay, maybe so. Okay, China has the same problem. Okay, their wages are increasing, and so it's cheaper to build have products built in Vietnam or in Nepal or in Cambodia or somewhere else. Okay, so how does China deal with this problem?
Because their people.
Can I finish?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you how they deal with it.
You was asking him a question.
Yes, you asked me a question. You said, how do they deal with
that was a rhetorical question.
Oh, excuse me.
And then you can debate with me if I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
The way China deals with this is they say, fine, move this factory over because all you're doing is producing air conditioners. Air conditioners is a low level function of society. We don't want low levels. We want high levels. We want to be building robots. We want to be building new technology things. We want to be building all these other things. And so they say, fine. They'll say to Trump, yeah, fine, take back your air conditioners, take back your washing machines. Go ahead, produce them. But because they want their people to advance. The United States doesn't think in those terms. The United States thinks in terms, oh, they're doing away from the poor us. They're so hard jobs. Oh, we're lost. We have to just shoot ourselves up with heroin, and we're a total disaster. We're lost. All because of these foreigners. What bullshit. What
Because they
victims.
don't have jobs. They
Hold
don't
on.
have jobs.
Hold on.
They don't
Hold
feel
on.
good about them sitting there.
Hold on. We need to take a break. Hold on a minute. We need to take a break. You're listening to Face the Tribune with Chris Garcia and Rolando Larraz. Our guest today is Mr. Ed Yuling, the future ambassador of China in the United States. We'll be back 5 minutes.